It's actually supposed to ring. And we are on pep rally schedule today, okay?
Is that activity?
Or activity schedule, yeah, whatever you want to call it. Okay, Abby, what'd you do first on number 1? Yeah. Okay, so they need to be 7 squared minus 7, right? So 7 squared is 49, minus 7 is 42. Very good job. Alright, what about number 2? Salma, what would you do first on number 2? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And notice how that square, do you see how that square is inside, not on the outside? So we're going to do 2 squared is 4, and 4 plus 2 is 6, and 4 minus 6, 10 minus 6 is 4. Alright, what about number 3? Do y'all remember, Sydney? J? Alright, how'd you get that? Okay, remember that's an exponent, so it's not 4 times 3, it's 4 times 4 times 4. So what is that, 16 times 4, is that 64? Is that right? And so that would be either F or G. Alright, what about the exponents? What is x to the second to the third? Does anybody remember how to do that? You do. When you have one base, you just multiply those and it's x to the 6. Very good. So that is G. So what are we on? We're page 15, was that right? Yeah. And I hole punched those wrong, so it is on the back of your study guide. Guys, let me make this clear, okay? Your study guide is not due. Your study guide will not be due. You're actually going to get a grade for the Kahoot game that we played. You'll actually get a grade for the Kahoot game because the Kahoot game will send me your scores. So take it seriously when we do it tomorrow, okay? So your study guide is just there for you to have extra problems, and I will post the key on Google Classroom so that you can kind of check your work. Yes, ma'am? I will post the Kahoot game, and you have your study guide. So I'll post the Kahoot game on Google Classroom if you want to play it at home, but you also have your study guide that you could review as well. Because it'll send me your name. Yep. All right, here we go. Let's look at number 5. Do y'all see how number 5 has absolute values? Do y'all remember how many answers we got when we did absolute values? We got 2 answers, right? Okay, so you had to remember what kind of problem is this. If it's greater than, was that an or problem or an and problem? Do you remember? Hopefully you wrote it down somewhere at the top of your paper. Or. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so the very first thing that you do is you set up your signs. Where do or problems shade?
They shade to the right.
And to the left. They shade away from each other, right? So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to set these signs facing away from each other, okay? And leave yourself plenty of room. It's going to help you tremendously if you set up your signs first like this. All good? You set them pointing away. All right, then you take the inside, which this one's easy because the inside's just Z. You set the Z on the left of both of them. All right, and then remember you take that 8 and you set one positive and one negative, but it matters. It does matter where that positive and negative goes. So think about a number line. Look up here on this number line. Your negatives are on the left, right? And your positives are on the right. So when you put, somebody grab that for me. So when you put these down, you put your negative 8 on the left and your positive 8 on the right. Y'all good with that? Alright, so now you got to write it as a compound. So just like you have a compound sentence, you have compound inequalities. The smaller one, the negative 8, goes on the left. that mouth is open to the -8. What you got, Jack?
Does it matter which one goes first?
Yes. The negative goes on the left, the positive goes on the right. Just like your number lines.
Okay, so,
Aren't they both like?
right.
Right.
You said it goes on the left and right, but they're both on the left side.
Of the inequality, look, right here. Look at that. This -8 is on the, oh, I see what you're saying. No. The negative goes on the left inequality, the positive goes on the right inequality. See how you have two inequalities? I see what you're saying. Alright, so you've got your -8, and then that mouth was open to the -8, so you keep it open to the -8. The z's tie them together, and then for your +8, your mouth is closed to the +8, so you keep it closed. And see, they've got to be pointing in the same direction when you get done. When you're done, when you write your compound, they've got to be pointing in the same direction, or you did something wrong. Alright, so let's graph it. Now look, guys, this is a really, really big graph, so you can just do this. You can put -8 and +8, and you can just put some dots. What? Alright, so right here, you've got -8 and +8, right? Which one's smaller? Alright, so it goes on the left. And then the mouth for the -8 is open to it. So when you rewrite it, it's got to stay open to the -8. And then the z's are the common, so they come together and tie it together, right? And then with the +8, that mouth is closed to the +8, so it stays closed to the +8 when you rewrite it. We'll do another one on number 6. We got 2 more. 3 more. Alright, so they both get closed dots, right? And it was an or problem, and or problem shade away. Alright, so let's look at number 6. Number 6 is a less than problem. So what kind of problem was a less than problem? And or? And, there you go. So the very first thing you do is and problem shade together. So the very first thing would be to set your signs pointing together. Leave yourself plenty of room. You're going to point them together because that's where and problem shade. Alright, so then you take this inside piece. Now look, guys, that inside piece does not change. Nothing about the inside changes. So it's 4t minus 3 on this side and 4t minus 3 on that side. So it's like 2 different problems. You can kind of draw you a line right here if you want to. It's like 2 different problems. Alright, then you set the 7. The 7 is what changes positive and negative, okay? And the -7 goes on the left inequality. The +7 goes on the right inequality. And then you just solve it. Alright, so this one, add 3. So 4t is greater than or equal to -4. Divide by 4. So t is greater than or equal to -1. And you divided by a positive. This 4 that you divided by is a positive. So don't flip that sign. Just because this 4 is negative, that's what you actually physically divided by was positive. Alright, this one, add 3. So 4t is less than or equal to 10. Divide by 4. And what is that? Is that 2.5? Yes? Did y'all check me? Okay. Alright, here we go. Which one's smaller? The -1 or the 2.5? -1, right? So it goes on the left. Alright, look at your inequality with the -1. It's closed to the -1. So it's going to stay closed to the -1. It's closed to the -1. Then you tie it together. Alright, with the 2.5, the mouth is open to the 2.5. So when you rewrite it, it's got to stay open to the 2.5. Alright. Alright, so -1 gets a closed circle. What about 2.5? Where's 2.5 at? Between 2 and 3. There you go. And it gets a closed circle too. and problem shade together. Sound good? Alright, we got 2 more, then we're done for the day. You have to do your homework. Alright, let's look at number 7. Alright, number 7, what kind of problem is a greater than? And or? Or, there you go. An or problem, shade away. So you're going to point those signs away first. Alright, this inside doesn't change. 3v plus 5, nothing changes about it. 3v plus 5 on both sides. You can draw your little line because you've got 2 inequalities. Alright, 14 is what changes. Negative 14 goes on the left inequality. Positive 14 goes on the right inequality. And then you just solve it. So I'm going to subtract 5. So on this one I get v is greater than or equal to 3. Ooh, this one's going to be a decimal. No, alright, so it's not a terminating decimal, right? It should be negative 6.33333333. Alright, so how many times does 3 go into 19 evenly? How many times does 3 go into 19 evenly? 6, right? 3 times 6 is 18. So if I'm at 18 and I need to get to 19, how many left over do I have? 1, and you keep your same denominator. So 3 went into 19 6 times, that's 18. And from 18 to 19, that leaves me 1 left over. Alright, so let's graph this. I really hope my air conditioner's not going out.
What about that thing that we were doing on the...
We're going to. I was just doing this first to make sure I had enough room. Okay, so which one's smaller? The negative 6 1/3 or the 3? Negative 6 1/3. And that mouth is open to the negative 6 1/3, so when I rewrite it, it stays open to the negative 6 1/3. The v's tie them together. And with the 3, that mouth is closed to the 3, so it stays closed to the 3. And remember, if you did it right, when you finish, they'll both be pointing in the same direction. Alright, so 3 gets an open circle. Negative 6 1/3 is between negative 6 and negative 7, but it's closer to negative 6. And or problem shade away. Sound good? Alright, what about number 8? It's already equal to a negative 1. Can an absolute value ever be equal to a negative? No. So what do we call it? No solution. There you go. It cannot be equal to a negative. It cannot be less than a negative. It cannot be anything with a negative. So since it's got a negative, it's no solution.
So that's positive, I have a negative.
If the absolute values are by itself and you got a negative, it's no solution.
What do you mean with the bottom?
So what if I had this? If I had 2r plus 7 minus 6, like that, like your checkpoint yesterday, you got to add that 6 first. So then I would have 2r plus 7 is less than 5. That's okay. So make sure that they're by themselves first before you call them no solution. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Y'all get workbooks today. You get to keep these workbooks. You keep them in your binder. You bring them to class every day. We'll have quizzes out of our workbook sometimes. You've got homework out of your workbook tonight. It's a grand total of 3 problems. So, and what I'm going to do is tomorrow when you come in, you're not going to tear it out. Tomorrow when you come in, since it's only 3 problems, you're just going to leave your book out and I'm just going to come by and check it, okay? Since it's only 3 problems, I can check it in like 5 seconds. So, here we go.